Well, the streak is over. If you go back to my trade video there early on today, you know, right near the end, and I'm like, and they play the Pistons, and they're not going to have the new guys or OG Precious or Malachi. Oh, God, this might get scary. But honestly, as a fan of these Toronto sports teams, it probably wouldn't have mattered who you put in the uniform. If you go back to a couple weeks ago, and shout out to my guys Will Liu, Alex Wong, Blake Murphy on the Raptors show, I was listening to them, and they looked at the schedule. I think it was Alex Wong looked at the schedule and did the math and knew that this game tonight could be that record-breaking losing streak. And when I heard that, and I heard the schedule that the Detroit had going into it, I'm like, if it gets to a point where the Raptors are that team, they'll find a way. What I've also noticed with Toronto sports teams in general, I'm going to explain to you why. That we just cannot have nice things, and when nice things do happen, they're followed very quickly with bad stuff happening. Let me put it into perspective for you, shall we? This Blue Jays team, okay? In 2015 and 16, they were fun years. Don't get me wrong, they were a lot of fun. But that 2015 season, they made it to the ALCS. Everything was going great. You're vibing. You're down 3-1 in the series, but you win one game. You have a chance to win another game, and you lose in heartbreak fashion. You have a grade A opportunity, you lose. The next season, you walk off the first two series. You get smoked in the next series, and it just doesn't even feel like you did any good. Done. And then at that point, Jays are done. You don't hear anything about them for the next 3 or 4 years. And to this point, they haven't won a playoff game since. There's that. Doesn't last very long. This team, do I even need to say anything? Do I really even need to bring up how this team heartbreaks you all the time? But more specifically, last year, you have the elation of the Tampa series. And then it lasts, a week and your season's done and you lose out in 5 to a Florida team? Great. That didn't last long. And then the Toronto Raptors. With the great trade earlier that, again, if you go back to the video, I truly still believe that the Raptors did win the trade, albeit we'll see how it all works out because, you can look back in hindsight, but as the initial thoughts, that's what I thought. And it's followed up mere less than 12 hours later with the Raptors losing to the Pistons and ending the streak. So the vibes are gone, just like that. And let me also flash you back to being a Toronto Raptors fan. We all know the LeBron toast stuff. That's always followed with heartbreak. We all know that. Then you go to the championship run, and everyone's going to say, well, you won a championship. Yeah, you know what it was followed by a week or two later? Kawhi leaving. We cannot have nice things for very long. If you have it, enjoy the hell out of it because it ain't going to last. Now let's break down this game. But God, do I really want to? Not really. You can tell in the early goings of this game, the Raptors were tentative and trying to figure things out. Now, they held the fort. They were up 5 at one point in the first quarter, and you're feeling, okay, as long as you can win the quarters, you're in good shape. Well, they lose by 1 in the first quarter, 25-24, but it's a 1-point game. Second quarter, your offense dries up, you get nada. You score 20, and you allow 27. You're -8 at halftime, 52-44. And your offense has scored 44 points. Shot creation not there. You're not knocking down any threes. It is just a painful first half. But you got into with losing some guys and knowing you're shorthanded and knowing the streak is on the line. You knew that first half was going to be very tentative, and they got through it being down only 8. But look, I'm not going to make the damn excuse. I've been hearing it all over the place. Twitter, social media of any kind. Well, they got in at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, they didn't have all their new guys. Well, they didn't have... I don't give a damn. You're playing the flippin' Pistons who have lost 28 straight going into play today. You have Pascal. You got Scotty. Win a damn basketball game. And they go out there in the third quarter. And you'd think, when you drop... Let me tell you this. The Raptors dropped 83 second half points. 83! And you lost. Because the Raptors allowed 38 in the third quarter and 39 in the fourth. Sure, you won the third quarter by 3 and Pascal Siakam was cooking everybody, but you couldn't get a stop. You won the quarter by 4. Whoop-de-doo. You're still down 4 going into the fourth quarter, the second night of a back-to-back, where you got in at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're down, guys. And then they go down 11 with like 5 or 6 to play. And they try and mount this comeback, but it's fake. Yeah, you win the fourth quarter by 2, 41-39. Who cares, man? You almost allowed 80 second half points to the damn Pistons. But as I mentioned earlier, it had to be the Raptors, right? We knew it was coming. When we knew the streak was on the line in this game, and then the trade happens earlier, we all knew this was inevitable. Just used to it. But it doesn't make it any easier. It really doesn't. And I really don't want to read out the stats for some of the Raptor players offensively because they're quite nice. Right? Pascal Siakam, 35, 5 and 4, 14 of 23, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 2 from distance. Great. Scotty Barnes, who was asleep through the first 3.5 quarters, 22, 9 and 2, 8 of 20 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line, only 1 of 5 from distance, a couple steals and a block. Jakob Poeltl, for some reason, only takes 4 shots. He was 2 of 4, 14 rebounds and 5 assists for Jakob. 3 blocks and a steal. Not bad. Dennis had 30 and 9. And shot 11 of 18, 5 of 5 from the line, 3 of 6 from 3. Gary Trent gave you 24 and 4 assists. Shot 8 of 16 from the field. 6 of 9 from 3. Had 4 steals and a block. And your bench gave you a total of 12. Your top scorer? Thad Young. I get it, they're short-handed, but God. The starting unit did everything. You had 2 guys who dropped 30. And you had 4 guys who dropped 20 plus, and you lost to the Pistons. What else can you say? The Raptors now dropped to 12 and 20 on the year. And you look at the team shooting stats. 50% from the field, 50% from 3, 82% from the line. But you lose. Is this an Emmanuel Quickly RJ Barrett fix? No. We know that. It really isn't. Does it make you better than this? Sure. But for God's sakes, you want me to read out the schedule for the Raptors moving forward? Because it's a bloodbath. And these are games you're supposed to win. The Charlotte game in Charlotte, you got to win that. The Portland game early in the year. The Bulls game earlier in the year. This game tonight, right? You know, you got Cleveland at home on New Year's Day, okay, but they're not a terrible team, right? They're 18 and 14. They're not a bad basketball team whatsoever, considering you're 8 games under. You got to face the Grizzlies, which I don't care what the record suggests. With Ja Morant, they're a better ball team. Sure, they're struggling recently. They lost a couple in a row, but Ja is going to make them a lot better. And you're on the road starting a West Coast swing. You go to Sacramento. You go to face the Warriors, the Lakers, the Clippers, and then get the Jazz to close out the that road trip. But oh, guess what? You come home to take on Boston and Miami. It's a bloodbath of a schedule. And the fact that you couldn't beat the Pistons in Detroit, I don't care about all the other things. It's putrid. It really is. Now, is Emmanuel Quickly going to come in here and change the entire course of this team? Who the hell knows? Like if he's going to get the starting role, and Dennis is coming off the bench, and RJ will start, and you have Gary off the bench. I mean, sure, it adds some depth to your team. I just don't know. Right now, I'm down in the dumps. You know, because right as the game expires, and I'm making the Tik Tok, I see the update. The Leafs are down 2-0, and I'm like, this is just great. This is just great. It sucks being a fan of this team. It royally does. And in this city, it blows. But I'm here because I'm nuts. Do I dare look at any other stats for this game? What the hell did the Pistons do? Okay, so K dropped 30. Yeah, he's fantastic. And they had 5 guys, or 6 guys in double figures. And obviously K dropped 30. So 5 of the other guys were just under 20 points, but they all scored in double figures. You know, you had Alec Burks giving you 16 off the bench. Alec Burks alone outscored the entire Raptors bench and took 6 shots. Sure, he had 5 free throws and knocked down 3 threes, but he outscored the entire Raptors bench. And you lose. So for any Raptor fan, Knick fan, Pistons fan, NBA fan who've come on here to watch me talk about how miserable I am, I appreciate it. I thoroughly do. I know it may sound like sarcasm, but I'm genuinely thank you. When I get the viewership on these videos, it gives me motivation for this flippin' city to continue to suck. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and, I don't know, something else, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on whatever that was tonight. Hit the subscribe button. I already said that. Comment down below. Discord, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X. All that nonsense is down below. So follow up there if you've not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys shortly. Leaves edition. If they possibly try and come from a 2-goal deficit to beat Carolina, probably not. But yeah, we'll talk to you post-game then no matter what. And as for the Raptors, they take on, who the hell are they playing next? I literally just read it out. Right, they got the Cavs on New Year's Day, 7:30. Tip-off at home against Cleveland. For anybody watching, hope you have a happy and safe New Year's Eve, and we'll see you in 2024.